Good morning, I'm Kathy. Welcome to One Neigh at a Time, and my neigh for the day is Taming the Tongue. I started this weekend with a Friday night, woman's night, or girls' night out, I think is what Joyce Meyer called it, and I listened to her talk about fear and what happens in the presence of fear and how we all have fear, and it's how we tame that fear, kind of like taming your tongue. It's what we do to keep our mind healthy, and our mind is, creates a lot of tension, a lot of gossip, a lot of a lot of energy is into what we think in our mind, and it says in the Bible that what we think in our mind will come out of our mouth. I work with horses, and part of the reading this morning that I was finishing her book, Do It Afraid. I'm not finishing, I'm just reading it, getting into it, and it mentioned James 3. And in there is a verse about when we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or, to take ships as an example, although they are large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder. And likewise is the tongue. It's a small part of the body, but it makes great boast. Consider what a great forest is on fire by a small spark. The tongue is also a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. So, what we speak about, how we think, the positive and the negative parts of our thought patterns is what comes out of our mouth. And our mouths can encourage and support and give love and kindness and all those kind of beautiful things. And it can also give negative. It can give evil. It can give it can cut people down. It can make people go into fear. It can destroy lives. It can destroy love. It can destroy even your own. After the words come out of your mouth, you then have to own them. And I can go back to when I was drinking, and drinking alcohol for me kind of gave me permission to just let my tongue go. I would start fights because of I had a little bit more encouragement, or a lot of more encouragement, when it came to drinking. And I didn't care whether I hurt someone's feelings. I didn't care whether I was verbally abusive to them. I wanted to say what I wanted to say, and I said it. And if I was sober, and today when I'm sober, I do my best to think about it, but not always. I still can hurt people with my tongue. I can still hurt people with my words. And I know that I have to stay healthy in my mind. I have to have a clear thinking process in order to go out into the world. I talked earlier about having, a mask over our mouths. You can't see the smile or the frown or the pissed off look from your mouth, but it can still come out. The mask doesn't hide the words that come out from behind there. And our mouths don't only speak it. Now we have the internet, and oh my gosh, you can pounce on people through texting and through the internet and through Facebook and Instagram. I mean, there's so many blogs. There's so many ways that we can get out our anger, our voices that we struggle to say out loud. Maybe you don't feel comfortable saying it to a human, but you can write it, So the horses don't have that mindset of wondering what to say next or how to say it or anything like that. So talking to and being a part of an environment when a horse is present, Gestalt mixed in with the Gestalt is a way of becoming whole, and it's looking at your background. So you might say something to me when we're in the presence of a horse, and I'll look at that and I'll ask you to look deeper into it. Go back further into your mindset. Where did that mindset start? Where did it begin? Did somebody else tell you that mindset and you carried it forward and now you are putting it out there, whether it's in a positive way or a negative way? Drinking for me, I kept thinking that, that it was the only way. I couldn't survive without having alcohol, a part of my life. And, how sad is that? Because, alcohol is a way to calm your body, to get your, to stop your thinking process. But I don't need to stop my thinking. What I need to do is change my way of thinking, to look back at the ways I thought of things, the way I think of things, and come to a point where, I can clear up what's going on inside of me, to start thinking about a different way of viewing things. So when I was with the horses, when I first began this process, I was coached by Melissa Pierce and a few of my peers. And one of the things I looked at was my thought on, can I have fun again? And, my mindset was, without alcohol, there's absolutely no fun. There's nothing to look forward to. And I had so much fear around the possibility of never having fun again. And, I think about that today and go, wow, the only way I thought that I could enjoy myself, have fun, get pleasure, laugh, communicate with people was if I had alcohol in my system. And I know better today. But I needed also a horse to kind of show me that. It sounds kind of crazy, but I was talking to the side of myself that was drunk, and I was talking to the side of myself that was sober. And a horse literally came behind me and pushed me over to, there was a divider between us, and pushed me onto the side of my sober side and said, what? To me, it didn't tell me, what are you doing? It didn't say to me, horse, what are you doing? But I said to myself, oh my God, a horse even knows what's going on inside of my heart. That's where I really recognize that the horses know what's going on inside of our hearts. My heart wanted to be sober more than my heart wanted to be drunk. And being sober meant that I had to then look at what's fun in my life. Where do I find fun? At what point in my life did I decide that fun was only if I drank? Because as a kid, I had fun. I had a lot of stuff. I had a lot of fun. And when I started drinking, I was only drinking on the weekends. I still had a lot of fun during the day. But I also had a lot of time where I felt uncomfortable. And when I did drink, I started to not feel as uncomfortable, or at least I could talk myself into the fact that I wasn't uncomfortable. I actually think that's it more than the fact that I was not uncomfortable anymore. It gave me the courage to go forward. So, are you drinking? Are you using? Are you, I don't know, maybe even shopping or eating or whatever it is? Maybe it's even that you're in some trauma mindset. There's so many ways that we go to, places we go to in our minds in order to feel safe, even though you aren't safe, even though that side of that place that you go to is not a safe place to be in. My drinking was not a safe place to be in, but I still went there because it felt comfortable. And, today, what are you using to make yourself feel comfortable? And are the words that you're telling yourself, are the words that are coming out of your mouth, or the words that are in your mind, are they positive? Can you turn them over to a positive? Another thing Joyce says is think about what you're thinking about. What are you thinking about today? And can you change that into a positive kind, respectful way of talking. So, you know, my horses help me find what's in my heart, and they also calm me down so I can think about what's in my heart instead of what's in my head. So, you know, if you're drinking in order to forget, to numb, or you're using it, another form of, you know, addiction, know that there is another way. There is hope. And you know, I'd like to be able to encourage you. You know, if you want to give, you know, see what my horses have to say, I'd love that too. Of course, they'd love it too. They love to I believe they love to help humans find their hearts. So what is your tongue saying? You know, with the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse men, and we have been able to be made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth comes praise and cursing. So don't curse today. Do your best not to curse today. And when you find yourself cursing, change that into a praise, you know, just for today. Let's be thankful and grateful and kind and loving. And that's my thought for the day. Thank you.